Hey carvers, happy holidays. Have you ever finished one of your carvings and you looked at it and you said to yourself, you know, there's something not right. It's just not, doesn't look right. And you realize it's the eyes. It's all about the eyes. If you don't get the eyes right, the whole carving is probably just a piece of scrap wood. So today I'm going to show you my trick that I use to this day when I'm having trouble getting the eyes just right. This trick will get you over the hump. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss this one.
Ah, the eyes. You ever heard the phrase, the eyes are the window to the soul? Well, it's true. But if you don't get the eyes right, the window it opens is an absolute nightmare. In my opinion, the eyes are the most important part of any carving, and if you don't nail them, well, you're just left with a chunk of wood. I mean, you've seen them, the carvings with the crazy eyes. Out of proportion, too big, too small, too far apart. This trick will help you get over the hump. Training wheels until you build the confidence in your eye carving. My trick, you ask? Simple. Wooden beads. You can pick up assorted packs of them at any craft store like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I'm going to show you how I use them and the results. I definitely recommend getting the natural wood color beads because they accept paint, stain, and they burn just like your actual carving will, so they'll blend a lot easier. This simple step will save you hours of stress and frustration until you build your skill set and are able to shed the training wheels and carve the eyes on your own. So there are a couple things you're going to need other than just the wooden beads. You're going to need a die grinder or Dremel, and you're going to need some burr bits. Now, you can get a die grinder. They range anywhere from $250 all the way to, right now is a good time to go to like a Harbor Freight. You could actually get one on clearance for $30, and I have a couple of them, and they work just fine. So, but basically, all a die grinder is a Dremel on steroids. It just is more powerful, and it cuts some of the work time down. So, and as for the burr bits, you can get them on Amazon. I recommend, if you're going to take a shortcut and buy a cheaper die grinder, then spend the extra money on getting good burr bits from Kutzall. Kutzall is probably they make the best, and they'll last you a long time. So spend the extra money and get the burr bits. But in order to burr out these eye sockets for these beads to really look good, it's worth the money. So now keep in mind when you're buying the burr bits that they do have different size shafts. So the Dremel size burr bits will have a 1/8 inch shaft, whereas for the die grinder it'll have a thicker shaft. There will be a 1/4 inch shaft. So make sure when you're buying them that you know which tool you're buying them for, because they are different size shafts. Okay, so again, the die grinder will have the thicker shaft because it has more power, and the thinner shaft will be for your Dremel type tools, or just, you know, normal rotary tools. So I suggest you get a piece of scrap wood and you start messing around with your Dremel or die grinder and different size beads, carving different eye sockets, and you can get different looks just by the depth and size of the eye socket. So like I said, before you start just digging into your carving, practice on a board or a piece of wood until you get the hang of, or until you get the desired look you want. And then that's it. Once you get the eye socket the way you want it to look, and you've got the bead that fits that socket the way you want it, you could either attach it before you paint it with, I just use like wood glue or crazy glue, or you could paint the eyes separate and attach them at the very end. So that's up to you.
All right, guys, I hope that helped you out. Like I said, I still use it to this day, but once you get the hang of carving the eyes on your own, you should do that. To get the perfectly symmetrical eyeball shape, this is a surefire way. And it's all about how you carve the eye sockets, you know. But I don't suggest this being the only way you do eyes. I mean, you should practice carving them and learn how to carve them on your own with like a Dremel, tools like that. But it's going to save you a lot of time, and it's going to save you a lot of stress and headache, because if you mess up one of the beads, you just toss it out and start with a new one. You can't always do that with your carving. And if you don't get the eyes right, well, the whole carving might as well be tossed in the trash. But I'm going to show you some examples of pieces I use the wooden beads for and the results.
They have beads without holes in them. Sometimes I use the hole to an advantage, and I burrow it out a little bit and make it like a good size iris. Kind of a cool look, but if you don't like the hole in them, you could position the bead to where the hole's hidden, or you could patch the hole up before you paint.
I hope this helped. Please hit that like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos like this in the future. Happy holidays. Stay safe.